Welcome to 27 minutes. We've made it past the halfway point, which is wild. I just watched the first minute, which was interesting. I mean, it's 1 minute, so it's not a lot. It was really just an introduction to what the series is. I feel like I was more presentational than I thought I would be. I could feel like I could sense by the end of the minute that I was excited to be done. It was like, oh thank God, let's be done with this, which was really funny. Yeah, there's not much to really gain from that. But I'm looking back, it was like 5 months. It says it was 5 months ago. 5, 6 months ago. I was in shorts, warm weather. I'm trying to think of like where I was at mentally at that time. It was like probably just after my Artist's Way journey, and if I remember correctly. But yeah, I feel like my personality was there, but I could feel the trying to push it out and like pushing that out more to be like, let's be expressive in a way. Whereas now that feels more natural. It's less of a force and I'm less like conscious of it. So yeah, not much else really to glean from that. But I'm excited to see more as I start talking about more and more. Just yeah, very interested in like that time, because I think at that time what I mentioned was like trying to put myself on the internet more, take up space on the internet. What does that look like? How does that feel? Which is, yeah, it's something I think about a bit more. My nose is so itchy. I'm so sorry. um, I do think about it. I think I'm less conscious of it. Like I'm less self-conscious about it than I was in the beginning. Because now it's like I'm putting myself out there. I mean, I'm Twitch streaming 3 times a week. And I'm making my Dragon Age videos and posting those, and like I think there's still something to be said about marketing those better and putting myself out there in that way. But like making and creating content now to share is something that is a lot easier, I find, for me to do. I think that's what it is I feel good about making things and putting it out there. The part that is like still a not sure about taken up space wise is like the marketing of it, of like being like, I have this thing, like take a look at it kind of thing. Which is something that's like a classic thing to face when you're a creator, when you're making things and want to promote it to someone else. And it's not something I don't feel like stressing myself out about it, you know? Like I'm putting in the work, I'm putting in the hours, and I'm having fun and enjoying it, and that's what matters. And there'll be more growth the more I do it, you know? And like I will find the pathways to promote myself and put myself out there in a way that gets me more visible when I want to, you know? There's not much pressure I have for myself right now, which is good. I think that's how I function best. I'm not trying to pressure myself into anything when I'm having a good time, you know? It's all good. I really trust that things will come, and I am someone that puts in the effort. I make the effort. I'm doing what brings me joy. So like, I just gotta keep following that, you know? Follow your bliss. Yeah, I feel like that's all I really have to say about that video. But I got a new haircut by my friend, which was really fun and nice. I feel like this is the first like hairstyle I've gotten that's like really expressive. Outside of like shaving my head that I did 3 years ago, which was very expressive. That's shaving your head. But I think those and that and like drastic haircuts were like how I felt like was the best way to express myself before, of like growing out the long hair so I could cut it off and chop it, and that was like a big thing of expression. And now having it more like, oh no, you can like style your hair and get it cut in a way that is like continuously expressive is really exciting to me. It's something I hadn't considered before. Yeah, I did realize this, I realized this morning that my haircut, I was watching a performance of the Stray Kids at an awards ceremony that happened this past year, and I realized my haircut is very similar to Hyunjin's hair, which isn't a bad thing. Just, I didn't do it on purpose. It's just a happy accident, which is awesome. But I was looking at it, watching perform, and I was like, oh, that's my hair. I went, I did this. I did that. Oopsie. Oops. That's okay. It's really funny, but I like it. I feel like I'm getting closer to like finding my style. Like this feels fun and good, and it's only day 2, and we had it blow dried yesterday, so it's like it's probably like a little bit styled differently than how it will normally be. But I'm liking now that I've slept on it once. I've got like the little strands kind of poking out like a little crazily. It's not really not that crazy, but I'm trying to get it crazy. I'm trying to be a wild woman is how I want my haircut to be. Is just like, I just want like little strands sticking out everywhere, but in a way that's like intentional and deliberate. Which is really nice, because it's nice to have like, I realized aiming to get a haircut that's like just it, because I don't really do anything with my hair. I wake up and let it be what it is, you know? Unless I'm like, I braided it on Saturday, and that's like the first time I've touched my hair in a while. So trying to find that balance, which is fun. I'm just having a good time exploring this, like hair, expressing self-expression, what that looks like, what that means. I feel less intimidated about approaching that before. And I think that's like, I think I've talked about this before, and I was talking about it with my podcast that we were doing a recording of this past week, just about personas versus authenticity. And like, I've been grappling with this idea of personas and what those are, of like how you present yourself to other people in an artistic way. Is my framing of it is like, creatively you can create a persona, and what does that look like and what does that mean. It's like a new concept that I'm just like interested in, and having it framed that way is allowing me to be like, oh, a persona, or like doing a certain thing, like visually, the way you express yourself. So I'm thinking like wearing makeup, wearing different hairstyle, just doing something different than my day-to-day. Before, I used to be like, well, that's not me though, that's not authentic, because I don't do that every day, so why would I do that, kind of thing. It felt off. Whereas now I'm like, no, you can do those things, and it's a form of, I'm understanding it's a form of self-expression, and it doesn't mean you're like that all the time. It's just how you're presenting yourself in this moment. It's taken me so long to get here to this point, and that's okay. I think but having that understanding, that deep understanding, is why I love like introspection so much, because I'm like, I have such a deep understanding of it now that like I can justify why I'm doing things. And it's not that I need to justify those choices of like putting on makeup or doing your hair nice, but like for me it's like an understanding of why I'm doing it. Because I think what it is that growing up we get all this messaging, like as growing up as a girl, it was like at some point you'll be wearing makeup and shaving and doing your hair and wearing dresses and all this stuff. And I was like, pause. Hang on, why am I doing, like, why and because I couldn't find a why, I was like, then I'm not touching that. Like, I don't I don't want to touch that until I figure out like, am I doing this because of a genuine enjoyment, or is it because I've just been told to do that, you know? And so now I'm getting to the point where I'm like, okay, I can like learn to figure out what I actually enjoy doing, because I'm understanding things now and it makes sense in my brain. Big win. We're talking about some good stuff these past few weeks, which is really nice. I feel like I'm really getting into like exploring new moments of growth and understanding of myself, which is really exciting, because I've been in therapy for like a year and a half now. It's been a year and a half, which is great. But I think there's like always a worry of like, okay, I had to face like such a big change, and like reckon with myself with that, and like learn how to get back into my intuition and tap into my instincts. And I thought, okay, I've done that, so what else is there? I was like, I've done this like big hurdle, like this biggest hurdle to get me to myself, so what else is there? And I'm like, no, there's still so much to learn and grow. And it's so fun. I love it. That's what I love. And now learning how to do that, to be able to express that creatively too, is really cool. Um, yeah. So that's my haircut. um, yeah, it's been good. I had a 3-day weekend. I took Monday off, which has been nice. That was to get this haircut and just to like, I just needed a day. I needed a day, and I thought I was gonna get stuff done. I thought I was gonna get a lot done, but my period came this week, so I was like, cut it all, scratch everything out. We're not doing anything, and that's okay. It's all good. I've really been being able to find that balance of like, when my period comes, everything gets knocked off the table. I'm not doing it outside of like things that are like needed to be done. Everything else is like, no, we'll get to that, because I know that after my period, it's like, I know I'm gonna have the energy to do all of the things, because that's what happens. It's like, I need to rest, and then if I properly rest and allow myself to rest and not think about the things I'm not doing, be able to enjoy that rest period, I have so much more energy after to like do everything and have fun doing it, you know? It's great. I'm in a good spot right now. Even though like I feel like I've been feeling really stagnant and kind of like rough, just with like the move, just yeah, like handling a lot of like changes, transitions. The house itself is in like a state of upheaval with all the different packing that's going on. So that's been like hard to manage, but it's all good. Like right now I'm feeling good, which is nice. It's feeling positive. Yeah, I think I'm just excited. It's exciting of like just these big moments of like self-discovery, leaning into who I am. I'm having a great time with that. That feels good, and that just breeds more good things, I feel like. I did see, the biggest thing that's been on my mind is I saw the Stray Kids Dominate Experience concert film on Saturday, and that was so good. That was, the way I've described it as, it was 2.5 hours of Stray Kids being like injected directly into my veins for 2.5 hours nonstop. And that's exactly what I needed. I was like, the theater I went to is a really small theater. There were people there, but it wasn't that crowded. I had the whole row to myself, and I just sat there, like, just taking it all in. And it was so good. It was really good. It wasn't, I thought it was going to be more, I thought there'd be more, like, introductory, like, this is who we are, and, like, how we got here, but it was just the concert and, like, interviews with each of them about like their work and how they're feeling at the moment, which was really nice too. And you get like a full concert experience, and it was just so nice. That was like the first concert film I've seen where it feels like I've been to their concert, which is really cool. And I've watched a lot of concert films. Weirdly, I've watched a lot of concert films growing up as a kid. And so this was the first time I was like, it feels like I've been to their concert. Like, yeah, it was just so enjoyable. I'm just so, like, there's just such a thick obsession, and it's just because I know, like, they make everything look so good, and I can just make it look good, and like it's effortless, and I can just see that there is so much effort being put in behind the scenes that we don't see. And that is just wild to me. I'm just so impressed. Like, I'm artistically obsessed with them. I just can't stop. I can't stop watching their music videos. Any video, they've taken over my social media, and I eat it all up. I just watch because I'm just fascinated. I'm like, I want to know just every little thing. And not in a weird, creepy way like I was as a kid. I was very obsessed with, like, I would get this obsession and like turn it into like a crush in a way, which like is a common thing. It's normal. But this is more just like artistically, I'm like, I just love what you do. I love it so much, and I just want to understand it. I want to be a part of it. I want to do it. So it's really, really cool. But yeah, it's just fun. Just so much fun. So that's really what's been on my mind, is that I'm trying to think what else I've done. I got to see an immersive show last week. I did a trip to London and saw a show that took place in a hotel, and it was the premise was that it's 10 minutes before a wedding, and you visit these 6 different hotel rooms that are different parts of the wedding party, and the whole story unfolds. And I feel like the story itself was very simple, and like each room has like everything's connected by certain things, but it was just so fun to like sit in the middle of that, be immersed in it. There was so much drama, so much drama. One room made me cry. One room was really gay and it made me so happy I cheered. It was great. I ate it up. It was so fun. It was so well run too and well organized. Like it was just really, really nice. Really nice, crisp, clear. Really enjoyed that. That was very fun. Yeah, I'm trying to think like what else I'm doing. I'm hoping, even though I'm like not working, I'm not doing anything, but I'm hoping to get my next Dragon Age deep dive video done before next week. That's the plan. I did start writing I have the lyrics written for the song I'm doing. I started writing the music, but then I started to lose focus, so I'm hoping to revisit it. I'm really hoping it sounds good. I'm worried that I was like pushing too much when I was first working on it, so I'm gonna listen to it again and be like, this isn't it. So we'll see. We will see. But we're gonna do that. That's like the big thing, really. What else am I working on? I've been like slowly improving my Twitch, which has been nice. And then just Twitch streaming, also like just playing with friends, connecting with friends, catching up, having conversations with them, which has been really nice too. Yeah, it's just really got me, I just feel like I'm in a good place where I just feel very open and wanting and like active in reaching out to people and yeah, wanting to make those connections, which is good. I think sometimes we can get stuck in a mindset, or at least I have, especially like growing up, and like there's been like moments in my life where I'm very aware of like I'm putting in a lot of effort to like do things with a friend, and maybe I'm not getting that effort back, or like I'm always doing the invite and they're not inviting me kind of thing. And for some reason that used to always like get under my skin in a way. It made me feel like, I don't know, I'm not sure really. It's like a feeling of, well, it's like a do you want this as much as I want this kind of thing for friendship. And so I think that led to a lot of like shyness around making friends, making connections and stuff. But at the moment, I feel like I'm able to just kind of be active, and like if I think about someone, I message them. If I want to talk to someone, I just send the message, and instead of like sitting on it and be like, oh, I should message this person, or oh, I'd like to do that, maybe I'll do it later. Like I just do it now, and that's just really nice. And there's no need to like think about like this like give and take or whatever. Yeah, it's just like, and like it's fine. It's fine. I think it's like, obviously when you start to notice that, like if you start to notice it in a way where it's like affecting you, and it's like, oh, it's not like I literally am putting all this work and like nothing is being reciprocated, then it's a time to reevaluate. But that's not what I'm experiencing. It's literally just like, oh, I want to make plans, so I mention the plans, and they go, yeah, and I go, perfect. You know, and that's okay. That's fine. Yeah, that's good. Trying to think what else. Next week I'm moving. I'll have one more video here, and then I'll be in a new place, which is wild to think. Like this, I feel like this next like week and a half is gonna fly by. Because I've got literally a week here, which is making me sad now. But I've got a week here, and then I'll be in London, and I move. Which is, yeah, big change. Very big change. I'm looking forward to it. I'm interested in, there's going to be like a lot of furniture I have to buy, because I sold my desk, so I'm going to have to get a new desk. And I want to get a little dining table that folds. I think I have like the layout in my head of what everything's going to look like, so I'm hoping that the space will be big enough for it, which I think it should be. I'm trying to be really realistic about how much space there is, because it's a big space, but I'm worried my head is making it bigger than it is, which I think is a normal thing to do. But it should be okay. Yeah. Now I'm just feeling sad. Energy has dropped. But it's okay. It's very it's been a roller coaster the past decade. This past few months has been like a roller coaster. So I'm just kind of sitting with it. And that realization I had last week of like the 3 different parts of like thinking, feeling, and my body, or brain, body, emotions, has been really helpful actually. That's been something I've been sitting on with this week, and I've got therapy today to talk about it a bit more and explore it a bit more, because I think I've made that, like I've seen it and I go, okay, I think like that's seems to be what it is. And I think that's as much of a connection I've made so far. But it's been like what am I trying to say? It's allowed me to be like, oh, I think the realization is that I've been using, or my emotions, I've been like my emotions have like been hiding behind my body. That's what it is. I'm like hiding from my emotions, and I'm using my body as a way to like, which I think makes sense nervous system wise. Like I think physically, anatomically, or whatever. It's like trying to shove it down. I'm not shoving down, but it's like I'm just like, I'm used to, it's like trying to like gain control in a way where I can try to control my physical body as much as I can, and use that as like a wall for my emotions. And so now it's like just acknowledging that and being like, oh, I see the emotions coming up. Oh, I see the pattern of like, I just picture like if I'm the emotion, I'm like hiding behind my body. So I'm trying to, just like kind of be aware of it and working on that, because I'm just interested too in like energetically in that way. How's that affecting my body? You know, how's that affecting my nervous system? And like, it's putting a lot of pressure and like energetic pressure on my body to like hold it all and like be this shield that it doesn't necessarily need to be. So that's what I'm working on, which is fun. And on the acting side, I think it's very it's like a new revelation to me, connecting all of this, because in college the focus was very much on speaking, the voice, and like using your body. So it was a lot of like, to me it felt like brain and body, and it was the messaging I took in was, don't think about the emotion will come along as you speak, as you move. The emotion will find its way through. However, I think with the way my brain works, I took that as cut off the emotion, and what you do will just read through. And I'm realizing now, I'm like, no, I think you need the emotion in there. Like that's still a piece, that's still a part of the acting, is you need to give it that emotion, and that's not what I did. And I think it explains a lot of the struggles I had of like not being able to connect and being told my eyes are glazing over, and I'm like, yeah, because I'm not feeling anything. You're telling me not to feel, like not to push out emotion is how I was receiving it. Like I think there is still, like I think growing up, and I think a drive at a young age to be an actor is to like explore the feelings and expression in that way. And sometimes that can mask like the intention behind what you're saying, and listening actively to your partner. But what happened with me is I think I made like a hard cut and divide of no emotion, just look at the intention and the thing. And in my head, that was how I was told that would get the emotion across. And I'm like, no, I think there's a feeding of it. You can have the intention, and you can also recognize that you're angry, and then use the anger to feed your intention. And that's just not the way it was presented, or the way I received the teachings we were given. And that's okay. Like I think, because I got a lot of tools still of like understanding intentions, learning how to like deal with emotion in my body, which is great. But I think that key factor of emotions, I think that's worth exploring, and we kind of push it off. And like, no, I think we actually need to embrace that and like let it fuel the intentions. And that's just not the messaging I got while studying it. So I'm excited. Like it really gets me excited to like do more acting and explore that a bit more. Because I do find, like, I think about like times doing Shakespeare, you are really relying on the sound and the words that are being spoken to kind of guide everything and where the emotion's going. But I think that like it does help lead and pull up the emotions as you're speaking. The emotions come and follow. But like for me, it took a lot of work to like allow those two things to get there. And I think Shakespeare, I don't know, the language kind of like lets you access that a bit easier. I keep doing this. I'm like voice emotion, voice emotion. um, but I think in like modern text and stuff, I think there's just like there's a way to link that still and let things fuel each other. I don't know, something to explore. Yeah, because like I just imagine like I would go into scenes, blank slate, head empty, say my lines, and they'd be like, well, I'm not getting the emotion. I'm like, well, yeah. You told me not to think about emotion. I'm not thinking about how I'm feeling. I'm thinking about I need to do this thing. And like I'll think about doing it and how I'll do it, but I'm not allowing any emotion to come through because you told me not to. So yeah. We're oh my god, we're we're rewiring this now, which I'm really excited for. I think that's just gonna open me up, which I'm looking forward to. But first, we gotta practice it in real life. I feel like we'll get used to that first. Amazing. We did 27 minutes. Oh my goodness, so much to talk about. We'll see how next week goes with the 2-minute video. Have a good week.